welcome to your town. I'm Jess Ryan. It is the season for special events in the Ohio Valley. It's one of my favorite times of year. And one of the events that kicks off coming up here shortly is another one of my favorites. And that's our first guest today. It's Lauren Thomas. She's the development director at the American Heart Association for our region. Lauren, thanks for joining.
Thank you so much for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. And we have somebody that's a woman of impact here at WVU Medicine, and I know all of the candidates this year and all of the people that are doing Women of Impact. I know all of that just kicked off. Do you want to talk a little bit about that first before we dive into the Heart Ball?
Yes, so Women of Impact is my absolute favorite campaign that I personally do. Women of Impact, we have a committee of people that we put together this nice long list of our wish list nominees. And then we kind of go through each of the names and ultimately select, who we want to reach out to and who we want to extend a nomination to of women that help make a difference in the community, are, people that are well known within the community, people that have a passion for what the Heart Association does. A combination of all those things really make the perfect nominee for us. And this year is so exciting because we have a Fab Five, is what I call them. And each of them are so special and have already kicked off to an incredible start. I'm floored by what they've already accomplished in 3 days. So because it kicked off on Friday and they've had the weekend to really kind of get their campaigns up and running. And it's just a super special campaign because it's all about impact. Not only is it about fundraising dollars, but it's also about the impacts that you can make in your community and throughout the nation, because it is a nationwide campaign. So yes, our focus is the Ohio Valley, but if they have friends and family outside of that area, they can make an impact there too.
Right. And it's a lot of work. Fundraising, as you know, is a lot of work. So the fact that those women dedicate their time for 8 weeks to go through and do this is fantastic. But then they get to celebrate at the Heart Ball. So we were talking a little bit earlier about there are funds that stay here locally. There's some national research that goes to the American Heart Association, but a lot of that education and some of those materials stay here in West Virginia and in the Upper Ohio Valley.
Yeah, absolutely. So something that's really cool that I love to share with people is research dollars. How does the pacemaker get invented? How do we figure out new surgical techniques for open heart surgery and different things like that? That happens here in West Virginia and in Ohio, which is so incredible to know. Just off the top of my head, about $1.6 million of research dollars has gone to the state of West Virginia at WVU Medicine and at Marshall University for their research programs that they have going on there. And it's even more in the state of Ohio at some of those really influential hospitals throughout the state of Ohio. So it's really great knowing that the money that is being donated and the money that is being raised for the Heart Association is going back to us and our communities. Another really great program is, CPR initiatives. So the health plan, they chose an amazing activation last year for their Heart Ball sponsorship and gave 30 CPR anytime kits out to the local Ohio Valley community members, to help teach people CPR, because us living in a rural area, there's not always enough time for an ambulance to get to you where you are. So if there's somebody in your home that knows CPR, everyone should know CPR. I'll say that. But that can help provide that CPR action right then and there. They have a better chance of, making it the long haul.
That's great. And I think that's important for people to know when they're giving to an organization how that works. This is the first time I've really had the conversation about when they say a lot of the money goes to research, that our hospitals can apply to be those research hospitals and can do a lot too. And it makes so much sense because statistics are so terrible, unfortunately, in our state. So it makes sense for us to be one of the states that's leading the charge and really diving in and getting those dollars to help with that research.
Yeah, it's incredible. And it makes me very, very proud of our state because we don't tend to be number one in a lot of good things. We tend to be number one in a lot of bad things. So at least we know that we're doing our due diligence to make a difference and make an impact.
Yeah, I love that. So coming up is the Heart Ball, one of my first galas that I ever attended that I always look forward to. I know you have a really strong committee of people there, super dedicated to the cause and to making a fun evening. For people who haven't been, let's talk a little bit about the Heart Ball.
Yeah, so I am so fortunate because the committee that I have in the Ohio Valley makes my job so much easier. So I want to preference that, John and Melissa Radizak have been a part of this committee for I think 30 years. And they have this heart ball down to a science. So I want to give them and the entire committee a huge shout out for just always coming up with something fun and creative and new to get people to continue to want to come to support the Heart Ball. So thank you to all of them so much. And yeah, so Heart Ball is coming up on February 24th. It will be at Belmont Hills Country Club. We'll kick things off at 6:30, end things at midnight. We, of course, will have a special surprise, as always, that people get really, really excited about coming to. And then this year, our auction is super, super exciting. We have over 30 silent auction items ready to rock and roll. And the best part about it is you don't necessarily have to have a ticket to Heartball to bid on some of the silent auction items. They'll be live on the website. So that's something super duper fun. So if you can't get a ticket because we do have limited seating, you can still bid on the silent auction and, donate money to a great cause.
And there are lots of really great items on that auction. I tend to think about what am I going to wear? The food's really good. I love the networking. Belmont Hills Country Club's a great venue, but the auctions are actually really, really fun. And it's a good way to interact with people too when you're walking around, to have a little bit of networking there. I've won a couple of items that I've been really happy about. I know there's always some Steeler tickets up there that are
Yeah.
great seats. So I love the committee. I love the group. I love the special surprise is always super fun. And it really is a really nice evening. I think it says on there heavy hors d'oeuvres. Is that what the invitation says? But you will not be hungry at that. I know that some people think, oh, hors d'oeuvres. First of all, those are my favorite meals. I'd rather have those pick than sit down with fork and knife kind of meals anyway. But the food is plentiful and it's always very delicious.
Absolutely. And Belmont Hills really went all out with a custom menu for us this year. So almost every single item that's going to be on the menu this year is brand spanking new because they have a brand new chef there that was really eager and excited to come up with something for us. There'll be carving stations, there'll be pasta stations, there'll be all sorts of goodies. We'll have the dessert table as always. So really, really fun and exciting stuff. And on the auction, yes, there'll be Steelers tickets. There'll be a trip to Antigua. There will be a trip to Cancun. There will be some really, really fun and exciting things. Kendra Scott has donated a beautiful necklace to us. So there's some really awesome things that I don't think our auction has seen before that I know of. So very exciting.
That is exciting. So if you can't make it, make sure you get on the website and you can get the information there. So let's talk about, I don't think we did date, time, location. I mentioned Belmont Hills, but let's run through that list.
Yeah, so February 24th, Belmont Hills. You can purchase tickets at heart.org/OV Heartball. So Ohio Valley Heartball, but just OV Heartball. If you have any questions, you can, of course, feel free to reach out to me at lauren.thomas@heart.org. But yeah, we are super excited to see everybody on February 24th at Belmont Hills.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining. It was nice to have you on, and I'm really looking forward to the event. We're a proud sponsor, and I know my team's really excited to be there.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to have W Medicine there again this year. And yeah, very grateful to the community for their support. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll be back with another guest just in a minute.
From humble beginnings in 1837, West Liberty University has been home to thousands of students. Whether you're a recent high school graduate or looking to complete a college degree later in life, starting your educational career at West Liberty University will be the catalyst for your future. This is a place where you will discover who you are and where you belong, surrounded by lifelong friends and a supportive faculty and staff. Start your journey home at westliberty.edu.
Welcome back to your town. I'm a little biased on the show and I'm not shy about it. I worked at the United Way for 6 years and it's certainly an organization I know through and through that's super near and dear to my heart, as is our next guest. This is Maddie Seavy. She's the Associate Director of the Upper Ohio Valley United Way, and I'm really excited to see you and talk to you, Maddie.
I'm really excited to see you and talk to you too, guys.
So the United Way has gone through a lot of changes in the last year. Executive Director Stacy Stephen, great friend of mine, has done a fantastic job. You've had a lot of exciting things happen with the addition of Hancock County to the United Way, different fundraisers, bringing more people on board, more donors, board member changes. So really exciting 2023. And there's some special events coming up in 2024 that are some tried and true events and some new events. So I'm excited to hear a little bit about what you have coming up.
Yeah, well, first, right off the bat, we have Night at the Casino coming up. And if you remember, last year was the first year that we rebranded it from Night at the Races and moved it up to the showroom at Wheeling Island Casino. And we had great feedback. Everyone seemed to have a really great time. So we're super excited to bring that back on February 23rd. And this year, we're going to have a super fun Mardi Gras themed event. So there'll still be blackjack and war and roulette. Their tickets are available on our website, UnitedWayUOV.org. They're $50 this year. That includes your dinner, 2 drink tickets, which will include beer and wine and also a signature drink cocktail, 5 chips to start out with the games once table games begin, and also this year some Mardi Gras beads and a little carrying bag for your chips. Doors will open at 5:30, dinner at 6, and table games to follow. We have Nick Arno coming back as our DJ and photo booth this year. So super excited to see what with as far as backdrops and all of that fun stuff. But yeah, I'm super excited for that.
Well, coincidentally, we were talking about the same weekend here because the Heart Ball's on Saturday and the Friday before that is this event. So we're really talking about a super fun weekend for the Valley. You know how I hate when people say there's nothing to do around here. Well, these are 2 super fun events, a little bit different. One's more of like a ball gala theme. The other one's more get out and play kind of theme. So a really fun event. And it used to be Night at the Races, and the racing component with greyhound racing and all of that ended up not being the focal point of the event anymore. And Wheeling Island is a super great partner and wanted to do this casino night. And last year it sounded like it was a big success. So excited for year 2.
Yeah, we are super excited after all of the feedback last year. Everyone seems to have loved all of the changes we made. And I mean, you mentioned it. We had a new executive director that had just started right before that event. We're calling it the year of the pivot. We had to just pivot and pivot and pivot throughout the whole year. And it started right with that. So we're really excited to be bringing that back on the 23rd.
And then you have a new event that's axe throwing.
We do. We are going to be having an axe extravaganza out at Route 40 Lumberjacks over in Belmont County. That's going to be May 24th. And we are going to see how this goes. Traditionally, we had our golf scramble that Friday. And we are going to try a new type of event and see if that works out. We're going to have tongue-in-cheek there from 7 to 10 p.m. and it's going to be an 80s theme night. We're still finalizing some of those details as far as what food will be available, but basically we will charge an admission price at the door that will cover all axe throwing and any table or types of games that they have. I believe they have like pool tables and stuff like that too. And then it'll be a cash bar.
And for people that haven't done axe throwing, it sounds like it's really intimidating, but anybody can really do it. It's kind of like a souped up version of darts where you have a big round target and they show you how to put the axe behind your head and throw it out. And it's really, really fun. I've done them before and it's a fun event.
Yeah, it's super awesome. I've never personally been to Route 40 Lumberjacks, but I've heard great things about their facility. And I've been axe throwing at other places before and used to work in axe throwing trailer, actually, believe it or not. It's very easy. It's user friendly, if that makes sense. Like you can't mess it up really. And everything is taken care of as far as like safety. They make sure everything's very safe. There's almost like bowling alley lanes that you can't really go in when they're throwing. So they really do a great job.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. And also
Yeah.
you have coming up allocations, which is how I actually got first involved in the United Way, was volunteering on an allocations committee. Run down what that process looks like for folks.
Yeah, so every year we do an allocations grant cycle. We ask our donors and other volunteers throughout the year to come and serve one day out of a week. This year, it'll be the last week of April, the 22nd to the 26th. So we ask them to come volunteer one day. They'll hear about 4 agencies pitch their programs for the upcoming year. They pitch their budgets, the programs. We might hear one of their clients speak on behalf of the program, which is always super emotional, for lack of a better word. They're sometimes very, very heavy, but it just goes to show how needed these programs are in our area. And last year we were able to distribute over we distributed $500,000 to our 21 funded partners. And like you mentioned, we did absorb Hancock County. And with that, we are taking on 5 new funded partners. Now, they will not be in this allocation cycle. We have some plans and some strategies to incorporate them throughout this year and next year, and then they will fully be incorporated. But we're super excited to get them involved in learning the process. And we're super excited to get those volunteers and getting that started to get organized.
Great. And for people who, the people that are invited to do it are essentially general people from the community, but if your company holds a campaign and this sounds attractive to you, who should they reach out to so they can volunteer?
Yeah, they could either email myself or Stacy. Both of our email addresses are on our website, uov.org. So you can definitely email us about any sponsorship opportunities if you're interested in having an employee campaign, if you're interested in volunteering for allocation, volunteering in general. We have more than just these 2 events coming up, so we always are looking for volunteers for kinds of things, and they're super fun. So you can either email myself or Stacy.
And one thing I love about the United Way, the main thing that I loved about the United Way is that all the funding stays local. I can vouch, I ran that budget. So all the money stays here and it goes out to the agencies and the nonprofits. And then the United Way makes it very easy for people to give through an annual campaign, through the employee campaign. If you can do $1 a paycheck and you have several people in your organization that are willing to do the same, if you haven't had an employee campaign in the past, super easy to set up and really something that accumulates throughout the year. And is one, I'm sure still last year was one of the main ways that United Way raises funding across the country. Some of those types of ways of giving are going downhill. So we want to make sure to encourage people to sign up for that and give your employees a chance to give back philanthropically to places that matter to them.
Yeah, and something that's really cool, especially with the employee campaigns, is that you have the choice to either donate to our general fund, or allocate, which will go into our allocation, or you can designate. If you have one of our agencies or any 501c3, even if they're not one of our agencies, you're super passionate about, you're involved with them, you're on their board maybe, whatever it is, you can designate your donation to them, and we make sure that that is received on your behalf.
Which is great. It's a beautiful organization, helps a lot of local people, gave me a very good look at the community of folks that you may not see out and about all the time. They're not going to be folks that you're going to run into at restaurants. These are people that are really pinching every penny to make ends meet for themselves and their families, and they benefit because of organizations like the United Way and who they serve. Thank you so much, Maddie. I appreciate you coming on and telling us about what's going on. I plan on making it to a few of those events. I have a couple conflicts I'm trying to work out right now, but I definitely want to continue to support because the United Way is a fantastic organization.
Great. Well, like I mentioned, if you can't make those ones, we've got plenty more coming.
All right. Well, thanks so much. Tell Stacy I said hi, and we'll talk soon.
I will.
Thank you for watching Your Town, a couple of really great organizations talking about some fun events coming up in the Ohio Valley. You can support them through going to these events, through donating directly to their website, some of the other events they have going on, like the Women of Impact, or going directly to United Way's page to donate to the United Way of the Upper Ohio Valley. I hope you're out in the community, being part of everything, really enjoying what we have here in the Ohio Valley. It's a very special place to live. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
Hi, my name is Craig Bober. I'm a senior finance major at West Liberty University, and today I'm going to be showing you what it's like to be a part of this program. Heading to my first class of the day, investment portfolio analysis with Professor Jess.
We're going to start off doing some current events, and then we're going to look at evaluating some stocks, figuring out the intrinsic value. We're going to do Knight, Tyson, Disney, and waste management. We need to make some investments with the investment club.
The finance program at West Liberty is an exceptional experience. In the program, there are amazing teachers that always make class fun and engaging. A new student enrolling in the program should expect a personable learning experience when you're engaging in classroom activities and building relationships with your teachers and classmates. I chose the major in finance because of my interest in the finance world and my want to pursue a career in business. My goals after graduating are to become a certified financial planner and help people achieve their retirement and savings goals. Heading in my second class of the day, Management Capstone with Dr. Rakia.
So part of what we've been doing over the last several weeks was looking at the internal and external factors of the companies that you had chosen to research.
This major is good for others to consider because of the quality of education you receive and the relationships you build with the people in the business department. Professionally, with a finance degree, you have many different career options like banking, insurance, financial planning, or even tax services. I chose West Liberty University because I did not want to go far from home, but I still wanted to be away. Personally, what I like most about West Liberty is the great people that live here. West Liberty Business program attracts many people from different countries, so this provides you with a unique and diverse learning environment being here. We're going to be heading into the investment club meeting.
So as we talked about, here's our current portfolio allocation. So we still have about $5,000 left, so we need to make some investments.
The Investment Club is a student-ran club that is sponsored by WestBanco, where we use real money to buy stocks and bonds to build a class portfolio. This club is a great place to learn about the stock market and how investing works. All the decisions that we make regarding our portfolio are voted on by all the members of the club. And now for my last class of the day, my finance capstone with Professor Jesse. West Liberty's Finance Capstone is unique because it is a CFP board-registered program, which is something that not all colleges offer. In this course, we learn about topics like ethics, retirement planning, tax planning, and risk management, which prepares us for the CFP exam. And now we're going to cap off the day with playing some basketball with my friends. Being a student athlete, there are many challenges that come with it, but the rewards far outweigh them. Through my 4 years of playing football here, I learned many valuable life skills and have built friendships that will last a lifetime. Thanks for coming along with me today, and for more information, just visit our website.
I am completing my postmaster's educational leadership certification, and what I like about it was that I could complete it completely online. My classes each week are very structured, so I don't fall behind, yet it is flexible because I can kind of work on my own pace and I can adapt to my schedule. Even though it is online, it's set up so that you can develop personal relationships with your classmates and with the faculty.
I feel that West Liberty is preparing me to be a future leader. One of the requirements in the program is to work closely with a supervisor, and this provides the opportunity for an authentic experience.
I think school leadership development is very important for future leaders so they can get a taste of what they're going to be doing every day and help prepare them for the future.
I feel that this has been one of the most valuable professional developments that I've ever had. I've learned a lot about not only leadership, but about myself. And I feel that it has made me a better teacher.
The collaborative work that I do with Kayla is definitely very valuable. She's been a great help to us here at the school.
Recently, we have been working on scheduling for next year. We have been working on getting the students who require special education services in the right classes, if they need small group instruction or collaborative instruction. We have also worked on school discipline. I recently completed a root cause analysis on discipline referrals and suspensions, and I'm planning on using that for my final capstone project. One of my goals after completion is to someday become an administrator because I want to have an impact on improving organizational outcomes to not only better the school system, but the community as well. I hope to someday foster an environment that emphasizes teamwork, innovative thinking, and equal participation to achieve objectives.
I guess if I was saying what my overall goal was, is just to be the best leader that I can be, and I want to inspire and empower others. I want to build collaborative and culturally responsive relationships within my building and throughout the county.
My name is Hannah Salonica. I am a senior in the psychology program here at West Liberty University, and I'm going to take you on my day. So first today we're going to go into biological psych with Dr. Fletcher.
We are going to be doing our Play-Doh activity with the eye. So we're going to create an eye out of Play-Doh, and assignment part 1 will be due the end of the day today.
The psychology program here at West Liberty University is really amazing. The courses are set up really in a way that you build a strong foundation before you move on to some upper level classes. Some of those can be like biological psych and clinical psychology. So we really do work on getting those transferable skills before we move on to the more like harder classes. So psychology is really a flexible and applicable major that we can use to do so many different things. You don't even have to stay in the field of psychology. I know a lot of people can use these skills to transfer over into different social work careers, even things like criminal justice. And going to grad school really just opens up those opportunities. For me, I really want to go into school psych, but a lot of people in my cohort like the clinical psychology route, where you really focus on assessments and the therapy setting. And our school here at West Liberty has a grad program where you get your master's in clinical psychology, and when you graduate you get to actually work as a licensed doctoral level psychologist in the state of West Virginia. So today we're heading back into biopsych, where we're actually going to be dissecting cow eyes today.
Part 2, we're going to walk through most of the questions in class, but then you will still turn in the document online. The nice thing about the cow eye is it's really big, so it's a lot easier to see these different structures.
Biopsychology is a very fun and challenging class. It's super interesting, and we're learning a lot about different anatomy, not only with the cow eye but also with the brain. And we did do a Play-Doh dissection before we moved on to an actual cow eye dissection, so we were able to use those skills on the Play-Doh and then transfer them over to the actual anatomy dissection. And this really connects because there's a lot of malfunctions and different disorders, not only with the eye but also with the brain. So being able to identify those specific parts, we're able to use that to then learn about the different disorders that are affected in those areas. So when you're a senior, you go through a practicum experience, which is a internship of about 100 hours, as well as some classwork that adds up to like 35 hours. I decided to do my internship at the School of Bright Promise, where I get to work with a BCBA, which is a board certified behavioral analyst, and I'm on her behavior management team, where we work on responding to different crisis behaviors with the children. But it really is awesome because I get to work with kids. This is something that I want to do with my school psych masters that I want to get, and it also helps just really prep for the future and get hands-on experience of applying these psychological principles we're learning in class and applying them into the real world. So today we're heading to canine cognition with Nessie.
Timing has to do with the conditioned stimulus being presented, and it needs to happen before or at the point that the behavior is occurring.
So one of our special topics class is the canine cognition one. This is actually a new class we just added that students can take for a psych elective, and we really go into a lot of the biological functions of a dog from their birth up until their adult life. And we're also learning different skills like training skills, as well as some first aid that we can actually use on our own dogs. So it's a really fun class. So we're heading into the psychology lounge to do a quick meeting. So the psychology club here is really a place that you and your cohort and other cohorts can kind of come together, and we do different things like study groups. We do some fundraisers like our chocolate rats in the fall, and we also have different trips that we take, like going to the trans lunatic asylum. We did that this year. That was really awesome. And then also we were planning on going to the psychology museum in Akron. Thanks for checking out the program with me. For more information, visit our website.